Hello, everybody. This is Cosman Harris coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. If you don't know me, okay, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, YouTube channel. Just put in Cosman Harris. And I'm talking about safety in our society today. My background is over almost 30 years in teaching security, fire safety, building safety, access control, metal detection. Okay, I'm licensed by the Department of Homeland Security, Division of Criminal Justice. I'm an instructor. Okay, so basically I'm online to help us learn some more of our rights. Okay, so we can have a better understanding in the society. And I'm tired of seeing things like this on television where we're taken for granted and we're not knowing simple things about what we can and cannot do. I'm not live this week on Facebook. Okay, so I'm just putting a video up. For somebody of you that was, last 2 weeks I've been live. This week I'm just putting a video up. Gotta bear with me, I'm a little tired. I teach all day. I got Google Classroom. Okay, I work for Brooklyn Job Corps, teaching young adults from 17 to 24. Getting them the security license and certifications, fire guard licenses, FO1, 2, 3, 4, S60, F60, okay, active shooter, okay. For some of you, if you're in security, these are the things you should have under your belt if you want to make moves and trying to get your dollars up, okay. So again, this is what I'm online doing, okay. So I'm certified in these areas. That's why I can teach it. Okay, last week, if you didn't catch me on Facebook, you didn't catch my video, if you're new to this, if you're a teenager and you're like, well, hey, I want to learn some more of my rights, you know, my mother, somebody told me about Mr. Harris, check me out, okay? I'm coming to you 100, hitting heavy, okay? To get you guys educated in your rights and your laws, okay? So last week, we covered a lot on self-defense. We found out that in the penal law book, it's called justification of force. So every time you say self-defense to a police officer, it's basically saying, we ain't that smart. Because that's not what it says in the books. It's called justification of force. Okay? Penal laws. Okay? With the abstract. So in this book also, it has what they teach the police officers. Okay, so man, we sticking and moving. Getting our learn on. Okay? I've been around a while and I come to find out that most people would like to know more about their rights. Okay? Your Bill of Rights, your first 10 amendments, I was telling people last week, you can Google that. Everybody's walking around talking about freedom of speech. Really, if you're not a rapper, singer, a writer, a poet, you really don't have 100% freedom of speech. Okay? We don't. Okay, if you go into certain locations, they can tell you, hey, you know, be quiet. You're on private property. Okay, please lower your voice. Please refrain from saying this and refrain from saying that. And most of us don't understand freedom of speech basically means if something does happen to you, you have a right to get your message out to the public. So that basically, that's really what it's all about. It's about getting your message out, letting people know whatever happened to you, okay? You've been in an accident or some injustice came upon you. You know, you was mistreated, okay? Hurt, injured, okay? What are the steps that you need to do, okay? So your rights are not violated, especially in today's world. Right now, people are protesting since the George Floyd situation. George Floyd incident. His funeral was yesterday. And if you still go online, you still see police brutality. We think that it's over. No, it's not over. We have to get this knowledge. It's into what's going on. You can only win this with knowledge. You can't fight violence with violence. Their laws are bigger, they're strong. They're waiting for that. That's why they got all these laws in place. They're waiting for that, to lock people up. Okay? As you see here on my screen, this is the incident with that elderly man that got pushed down by the police officers. Okay? He's 70-some years old. Police officers pushed him down and walked away and left him. Okay? There's going to be incident after incident if we don't get this knowledge and understanding. What can you do if this has happened? Okay, he's supposed to be going to the doctor. You know, obviously he got to go to the doctor. He was injured. From the doctor's office, you should be getting a lawyer. It's documented. He was injured. It's on tape. Okay, now he can start 2 cases: criminal procedures and civil. So most people don't know that. You can have 2 cases going at the same time. You're filing criminal charges against a person and civil, because your civil rights were violated. So it's a lot that we got to be talking about. This week we're going to jump into some basics about the law. Okay, we're going to jump into, telling people last week we didn't get into like what is an offense. An offense is any time you break the law. It could be me riding my bike on the sidewalk and the police officer stops me, writes me a summons. Okay? And we talked about this last week. You need to have some type of New York State ID. New York State ID is an ID that says New York State across the top. It comes from motor vehicle. We talked about that. You should not go outside. You should not go to the store. You should not be doing anything without this. Right now, if I go out to the store, take the garbage out, I grab a piece of identification. Why? Because I understand the law. A police officer can stop me, and I can say he's being a such and such, a hard butt, or them kind of words, and he probably is, but that's what they teach him. So we got to get prepared. Society is not prepared for these law enforcement officers. Okay, if you haven't been to police academy or did a police officer training or any law enforcement training, you're kind of lost unless somebody in your family can sit down and go over this with you, or you're a lawyer or what have you. So we talked about that last week. Most people got to identify their occupation. Okay, if you're a public school teacher, you don't know nothing about criminal civil law. They can get the books and read it. They should. Or their civil rights. Okay? You're a bus driver. Okay? You're a cook. Culinary. You're an IT person. So again, understand these laws. Do not go outside without a piece of identification. A police officer can take you to the precinct if nobody told you and hold you at the precinct, I believe up to 32 hours, something like that. Over 24 hours. Because of no ID. These are the things we're not taught. So again, we talked about that last week. If you got young adults, anything in their teens, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, should have ID. If you're 18, you definitely should have a piece of identification on you. Anything over 18, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever your age is, you're supposed to have a piece of identification. If something happens to you, I wonder how many people know this. If something happens to you right now, God forbid, you go outside, you're about your business, whatever, you have a heart attack or you get hurt, run over by a car accidents. People die every day from accidents. Okay? What is the law if nobody claims your body and they can't identify you? Okay, they can only hold you for, I believe, up to 30 days, if that long, especially with the coronavirus. I don't think they're holding people that long. Okay? Nobody claim you. Okay? Nobody claim your body. You're buried at Potter's Field. John Doe, Jane Doe. These are laws. Again, pay attention so you can understand how these things work. Again, no identification. Something happens to you. Nobody claims your body. You're going down as John Doe, Jane Doe. Because you had no what? Identification. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so an offense is any time I break the law. Police officer stops me, I have no ID, writes me a violation, riding a bike on the sidewalk. Yes, reason why he can give me a ticket because you can run into somebody, a baby, a child. Okay, a lot of things can happen, to people from that happening. Okay, let's move on. Next one, misdemeanors. Okay, misdemeanors are different from an offense and a violation. Okay, an offense and a violation, like brother and sister, they go hand in hand. So once you break the law, mostly the violation would be this, what you did wrong. Put down, you jumped the turnstile, you didn't, you went outside with an open can of beer. Okay, you got caught writing graffiti on the building, what have you. All of these are like violations of the law that we shouldn't be doing. Okay, they're not considered crimes yet. Okay, so most likely you can get community service or some jail time. Okay, in most cases you get, community service, a fine, or some jail time. Okay, especially in certain states, if you're caught, intoxicated outside, the judge can say, hey, give them a couple of days to sober up. Okay, and they can still give you a summons, a fine to pay. Okay, every state is different pertaining to that. So again, an offense leads to a violation. That means we offended something we've done against the law. So we need to know basic laws. Like in New York State, people jaywalk, cross the street, in the middle of the street, all kinds of crazy stuff. You go to another state, they enforce that. Like we was talking about last week with the different state laws. Different states got different laws. Okay? Every state got different laws. Stop moving a state when you don't know the laws of the state that you live in it. Like right now, we're in New York. And we was talking a little bit about this last time in our training, that the gun laws for New York are strict compared to what? North Carolina. New York is 22%. Okay? North Carolina is 90% total freedom to carry a gun. That means like almost everybody can go get a gun. You have some ID, you show proof of residency, as long as you haven't, murdered no one in that state. Okay, in most states, they won't give you a gun if you, have felony. You have a felony of, crime in your record that you committed a felony. Okay, in some states, misdemeanors, they won't give it to you. So it all depends. So stay away from them too. Felonies and misdemeanors. New York State does not expunge. This is something, I remember I was teaching class, every time I'm teaching a class and people at different facilities where I teach at, people got to pay. And when I'm teaching class, you used to see the students and people reactions. I'm going through this stuff and everybody, no, my cousin, this one said false information. That's the problem with some of us. We going by what my cousin said, what this one said. What school did they go to? Where's the licenses at? What do they teach? Show me what they teach. Come on, where did they go to school? Where did they learn this at? Penal law. Okay? So again, New York State does not expunge. That means if you catch a felony in New York, it's going to stay on your rap sheet until you die. Until we vote. So if we start voting and I start teaching y'all what your rights are, then we can change these things. So if I can learn, a high school dropout, I told you my story. I did horrible in school. I did great here in security. I got all my education in security, my high school diploma, college, peace officer training, certified protection officer, fire safety director. The list goes on and on and on and on. People that know me. You can Google my name and it'll come up on your phone, Cosman Harris. And it says, you'll see my picture and my credentials. Okay, so again, let's get it right. Let's stop playing. Okay, we don't know the laws. Be honest. They're not going to teach you. We all could learn, be on the same level. I'm no better than anybody. But this is my field. Okay, New York State don't expunge. Jersey expunges. That means you catch a misdemeanor. Let's say you get into a fight. You punch the person in the nose. They had to go to the hospital. Okay? long as you didn't really the nose will heal up, okay? Long as they don't kick it up to a felony where you really, person is really what they call serious injury. A busted nose is not a serious injury. It can heal, the blood and everything, as long as you didn't break the person's nose. You just had a busted nose, just blood came out. Now, if you broke the person's nose, listen to my word, if you broke somebody's nose, it can move up from misdemeanor to felony. So you see the difference? Misdemeanors are punishable from 15 days to 1 year. Felonies, year or more. Again, that means you're going to get more time in jail. So again, just be very careful with these things that we're learning about these laws and these situations and how they work. Very important that you understand that, okay? So again, we covered violations. Anytime you break the law, it could be anything from drinking beer, not paying your fare, certain tussles, like if you get into a little tussle, as long as you don't hurt no one, police can come and break it up. But if you start hitting a person and they can show injury and wounds, it can be moved up to a misdemeanor. Okay? So basically, if you get into a little push and shove, a person pushed me, I pushed them back, and we said a few words, hostility, and the police come, that's called harassment. Okay, so there's a lot of simple terminologies that we're not learning. Okay, so I just wanted to go over with you today, so we have a basic understanding about that. That what our violations are, means they're punishable by law. Okay, most cases you'll get, again, a violation of the law. You can get a summons. You can get community service. Okay, that means the judge can say do both, community service and pay a fine. Okay, if it's something a little more like public intoxication, they can hold you in jail for a night or two. Okay, because violations, can go up to a couple of days. Okay, remember, misdemeanors are 15 days to a year. Felonies, a year or more. That means that person say, I got 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years. Okay, it depends on what crime they committed. Okay, and one last thing, that misdemeanors are for the county and felonies are for the state. That means if you ever go to court, some of you probably been to court and you probably heard the judge say it, the state versus such and such and such. Like, let's say the state versus John Doe. Okay, that means the state is going to pull out their best people, the people that got their degrees, the top ranking, attorneys to fight for them. So again, I just want to take some time to share some basic information with us, what's going on in our world today. Catch me on Facebook. Hopefully I'll be live again next week. If you got a chance, take this out, check it out, show it to your friends, your family, and I will try to be back live again next week. It's Cosman Harris. Talk to you real soon. Take care.